What's up, everybody? We back up in here, Hella Flagrant the Podcast. It's your main man, Hella Flagrant DM. I'm in here with my brother, Sean B. Flagrant. We back up in here, season 3, episode 2. I know we had to take a little short hiatus. We had to handle some things. Had to let the football season get underway. Sean B. Flagrant, what's going on, brother?
Oh, man, you know I'm always good, man. Just loving this time of the year right now, man. NFL is going on steady strong. This is week 4, about to go on to week 5. NBA is about to start off real soon. We actually got our first preseason game jumping off this week. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to everybody, all your teams that you like, man. We Warriors fans over here, of course. But whatever team you like, man, it's going. It's about to start up. So this is the best time of year. Baseball cracking. Playoffs about to start pretty soon. Yep. But yeah, this is money time for all the sports. All sports fans. Sorry for all the wives and girlfriends, but I mean,
yeah, it's over. It was fun.
Yeah, summer love is done, man. It's time to get back to the grind.
Yeah, if you love your man, cuddle up next to him on the couch for these games because it's about to go down. Exactly. So let's get into it. Like I said, I know we let a few weeks of the NFL go by. Right now, San Francisco 49ers remain the only undefeated team in the NFC. That's fool's gold, though. Don't buy too far into that. But I'm still, you know what I'm saying, rep my team. That's just how we do. Some other notable things around the league. Tampa Bay Buccaneers served up the LA Rams for 55 points. We got, and this is the topic that we're about to get into right now, is a big topic. We've got a number of injured quarterbacks around the league, which means we also have a number of young or backup quarterbacks playing. So let's talk about that right now. Let's talk about some of these injuries and let's talk about some of the backups and how they're playing.
Well, yeah, fantasy owners know this all too well, unfortunately. There are a lot of quarterbacks that are just dying, dropping like flies right now in the National Football League. We can start off. Steelers actually just played right now. We just watched that game. But they have a new starting quarterback in Mason Rudolph because Big Ben basically threw his elbow out or arm, shoulder, Tommy John, whatever it is, he's not playing for the rest of the year. Down in New Orleans, week 2, same thing. Drew Brees playing LA Rams down. I think it's something with his thumb.
Yeah, right in here somewhere, I think. I don't know.
Exactly. But, I mean, he's going to be out for a, good amount of time, actually. Teddy Bridgewater's actually stepped in there, played 2 games, won both those games, surprisingly. I want to say surprisingly, but, I ain't seen Teddy play in a while. So, but anyway, Cam Newton, we saw him for 2 games. He's looked terrible. Obviously having something alien with him still with his injuries that he's had from before. Yep. And this might actually be a new one. But his replacement, I think his name is Kyle Allen, I want to say. Yep. He's actually playing pretty well. But he stepped in to play for him. I'm just going to run through a Nick Foles, Gardner Minshew now. As I'm saying, if you guys ever seen the movie Napoleon Dynamite, Uncle Rico, that is Gardner Minshew. That boy is a character. Yeah. I'm saying right now, if you got his social media, he is funny as hell. Crazy. I mean, but he's actually playing pretty well for the Jags right now. So shout out to him and see how far he can take it. But like I said, Josh Allen got hurt last week. He's going to be out now. Mr. Trubisky got hurt. He broke his arm, or separated his shoulder, I should say. So Chase Daniels stepped in for him. I feel like I'm missing somebody else, but
well, Eli didn't get hurt, but his feelings got hurt because Daniel Jones is in there. Dwayne Haskins is playing for Washington right now.
That looked bad. For anybody you guys that saw that game, they were look. First of all, Washington is probably one of the worst organizations ran to this day. Yeah. But okay, look. So their coach is Jay Gruden, brother of my coach, the Oakland Raiders coach, John Gruden. Both are terrible. Both need to collaborate and get on out the league because they both can't get it done. Anyway, they basically had Case Keenum running their quarterback position, which is a terrible move. They shouldn't have paid him any kind of money. No. But anyway, he was there. He looked terrible. He's been looking terrible. Offensive line is trash, but that's not his fault. They didn't prepare Haskins for this game at all. So what happened was they decided to play – they not decided to play. They played the New York Giants, who put what's his name? Daniel Jones, sorry. Daniel Jones, say Chase Hill. Daniel Jones in for Eli the week before, and he balled out. Beat Tampa, exciting game. And so that next week they had to play the Redskins. So
Tampa beat themselves. Let's just put that out there.
They did.
They missed that field goal and beat themselves. But
they did.
Anyway.
But same thing. So Washington goes and plays New York, the Giants, and the Giants look good. Daniel Jones throwing the ball over the field, embarrassing them on Washington's home field. So Jay Gruden decides, okay, I'll put in the rookie now. You can't. Okay, first of all, you can't put him in half the game just because the other quarterback sucks, and then you put him in with no practice time, no reps with the first team, and he looks absolutely trash. And it's not his fault. I'm not going to sit here and say that he's a great quarterback or he could be a great quarterback, but you didn't prepare him anything. You're scared because you're going to lose your job, so you decided to throw him in for no reason. And he did exactly what he's supposed to do in terms of he looked terrible because you can't do that as a head coach. So I said all that to say, basically, there are some teams that are basically hurting themselves. It ain't got nothing to do with the quarterbacks or the injuries that are going on. A lot of these games that are based – because there are replacement quarterbacks that are winning games. We're just talking about Kyle Allen that was playing over at Carolina. He's winning games. You can't throw in quarterbacks and expect him, because we got a quarterback change to win game. Don't work like that. Teddy Bridgewater is doing cool with the Saints, but we'll see how long that lasts. Mason Rudolph won a game today. We'll see how long that lasts. All these guys that are backup quarterbacks, they're backup for a reason. And I know it sucks for a lot of you guys that have either fantasy teams or that's your team that's got the backup quarterback. Yeah. But you're going to stick through it because, it's the way of the NFL, man. That's what happens when you guys don't play your quarterback and stuff like that. So
yeah, no, it is what it is. So, and so we'll see. I out of all of the backups, I want to say right now my favorite may either be Teddy Bridgewater. I'm not buying the Gardner Minshew hype yet, but I just like how much fun he's having with football. So I like him too right now. Just as a guy, I'm not saying he's a great quarterback or nothing like that. I just like how much fun he's having with football. So I think right now, out of the backups, those two might be like my favorite too.
Yeah, no, I mean, that's what I said. Backups, get your money. This is your time to show yourself. I mean, it's unfortunate, like I said, that all these quarterbacks are going down, but I mean, that means that the NFL is wide open. I mean, you got teams like the 49ers not losing games yet. That means anybody can win, right?
Right.
I mean, not to take a shot at the 49ers, but.
No, I'm a realist. We're not that good. I don't want to buy into the hype of, we had a bye week, okay? We got to go play Cleveland. They just put up 40 points on Baltimore. You know what I mean? Like, I with a secondary that is, So I'm not buying into the hype. Come talk to me in week 8. See where we are then, and then maybe we can talk about something.
Yeah, I mean, I'll give the 49ers some credit. I mean, they did win the games they were put in front of them, so you can't really get mad at that. Mm-hmm. They didn't all look pretty, but, they won the game they were put in front of them, so that's all you can really ask. Like you said, undefeated team, along with New England Patriots, who look like a monster still, especially their defense, actually, and the Kansas City Chiefs, who are never going to die out because Patrick Mahomes is the greatest quarterback probably ever in the entire world.
So, that last play, though, that was nuts.
Yeah, Patrick Mahomes. Kansas City, go get your Brinks truck ready. Bring it in. You might as well pay him now.
Get some money.
Yeah,
go get some money. Go get some money. So, speaking of trying to get some money, your man, former Oakland Raider and now former New England Patriot, Antonio Brown, suing the league for a whopping $61 million for up to, I think it was like 9 grievances he was filing against the league. So, because we missed a couple of weeks with y'all, we got to rewind this back a little bit, kind of give you guys the breakdown. I know we had talked about going into the season, some of his preseason antics, but let's get into what happened, how he got from the Raiders to the Patriots and from the Patriots back home.
Yeah. So, I mean, I haven't been on this, obviously, for a while since, episode 1, so we haven't really talked about this. But everybody who does know me knows I have a unhealthy love for the Raiders. Unfortunately, my team is you know if you're a Raider fan. Anyway, my point is this: AB, he messed us up. To say the least. AB came to the Raiders. Obviously, the beginning of the season was traded from Pittsburgh. We all know about the coming in a hot air balloon, having the messed up feet that he burned in a cryogenic chamber. Then the helmet gate that he had when he was trying to find his helmet because he couldn't find the right one because he wanted to wear the old one, but it didn't work for the NFL.
Right.
That's behind us. We already talked about that. And I'm going to tell you about everything that happened new if you been on the rock for the last few months or whatever. But anyway, so AB decided that the Oakland Raiders was not the place he wanted to be. He got mad when the organization decided basically to suspend him for not showing up to practice. Not really suspend him, actually deduct his pay, take away his guaranteed money that he, wanted, I guess. I think it was, $31 million that he thought he was going to accrue with the Raiders. But people don't understand is you actually have to play for a team to get paid. Just like if you go to a job, you have to actually work there.
To get a job.
Because, just because they sign you to an offer sheet, if you don't pass the requirements to get into the job, i.e. drug tests or whatever situations, background check, what happens? You don't get paid. You don't have a job. No. That's what happened with Antonio Brown. He doesn't get that. I don't really understand that. I'm not even talking about just from the Oakland Raiders. I'm just talking about as a
human being.
Why don't you understand that? If you do not meet the requirements of the job, they don't have to pay you.
Right. That's
what it is.
Right.
It doesn't matter what you do in your life. That's what it is. So anyway, Antonio Brown threw a fit. He recorded, obviously some things with John Gruden, him talking, put him on blast on Instagram, try to make fun of him, which was silly. But this all happened within 24 hours of him also assaulting Matt Mayock or trying to assault Matt Mayock and calling him, explicit words. I won't get into it right now, but yeah. So basically the Raiders said, we're not going to give you the money. He said, trade me then. I don't want to be here. They released him. Or they didn't say trade me. He said, release me. They released him. They got out of it. But once again, if they release you, you don't play a game, you don't get paid.
Right.
I don't see why he doesn't understand that. Anyway, fast forward 4 hours later, he's somehow with the New England Patriots. Shocker.
It's not a somehow. We kind of knew how that was.
Yeah, I mean, we know how Billy works, man. Billy C over there doing his different moves. Billy B, whenever not Billy C, Billy B. Anyway, my point is this. So now he's with the Patriots. He plays one game. He scores a touchdown. And then now he has another sexual assault situation that comes up that arises because he did have another one before, prior to that surfaced, during that whole time with the Raiders. So anyway, now he has two, and the situation got really bad. So Bill Belichick said, I'm not going to deal with this, and he released him too.
Yep.
Now, they did guarantee him $9 million, but once again, if you don't play, they'll get paid.
Can't get paid.
Right.
You can't get paid. And if you have to be relieved for something detrimental to the league or the team, i.e. sexual assault allegations, I don't have to pay you.
Right.
Like, your off-field actions affect your check. Whether you think it doesn't or not, it really does. You know what I mean? And look at all the guys that are suspended around the league right now for off-field actions. Kareem Hunt, you know what I mean? Suspended for off-field actions. Your off-field actions affect your ability to play. You don't play, you don't get paid. It's that simple. So to me, I think there's a couple things going on here. Number one is I do believe, and there's a couple conspiracy theorists out there that believe Antonio Brown, and maybe he had some help, orchestrated this whole move to try to get onto the New England Patriots from the jump. And then I just don't think that he expected the sexual assault cases to appear how they did, because that was the one wrinkle in his plan. But the problem is bro, you put all this negative energy out into the world in general, it's gonna come back to you. Like you can't try to play the league and outsmart the entire league and then get mad because it backfired in your face. And now you're trying to sue for almost double what you would have made on your highest contract with the Raiders would have been 31. Your guaranteed from New England was only $9 million. Now you want $61 million? You want me to pay you for acting like a complete fool? Nah.
Pay you extra.
Pay you extra for acting like a complete fool. Like, and I think you said it to me earlier. It just seems like Antonio Brown doesn't really want to play football. He wants the money, but he doesn't want to play football.
No, I mean, there's an interview that was on ESPN that was a while back when he was talking about how he doesn't need football when he was still with the Steelers, about how football needs him, about how he's his own businessman, how he's a brand, which is, I mean, could be true, but the way you're going about it is you're destroying your brand. I mean, that's just facts. And, I mean, I do believe that, you know, from the beginning, he wanted to get off the Steelers because he didn't like it there. He didn't believe that they believed in him anymore. He didn't like Ben. So what happened was when he got traded to the Raiders, I think he had an okay sense about, okay, well, here's a new beginning until he got to camp. And it was like, this is not going to work.
Right.
Like, this is not this. He can't give me the ball. Speaking about Derek Carr, this offense is not going to go anywhere. I'm sorry to say this, Raider fans. I'm just thinking about how he's thinking. Because in Pittsburgh, he had, even though he didn't like Ben got in the ball. Right. Ben got in the ball all the time that he wanted. Right. So I figured he probably was like, okay, I can't do this. Word comes in from Bill Belichick, blah, blah, blah. We can have you over here. Tom Brady's, you know, supposedly they're close now. So I feel like the whole thing did escalate into let me get my way out of here the best way I know how, which is act as ignorant as I can possibly do.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if he did plan it, it was probably the stupidest plan anybody's ever done. It worked for a brief second, but like you said, I don't think he expected the sexual assault cases to come up as they did. And if he did expect them, he probably wanted to get on a team to play so he could hurry up and get his money before everything really dropped, because he might have had a sense of it coming. His agent might have had a sense, but they try to move it very quickly because, I mean, AB was signed from leaving the Raiders to the New England Patriots within 4 hours. Now, I don't know how that even works, to be honest with you, because I'm not an NFL player, but I know when they give you contracts, which also probably in there somewhere in this thick binder that they probably make you sign, it's got something in there that says if you do not play or perform what are do the certain acts that are required by this team, or we require you to do personally, you don't get paid. And I know for a fact Bill Belichick is smart enough to put that in his clause.
Oh, I know it. For a fact. I know it. That's all. Business Bill. You know he's about the business first. You know what I mean? And so you know that's in there. But at the end of the day, all this other stuff that you did to try to get off the Raiders, it doesn't help your case in these sexual assault cases either, because a lot of the stuff that these women are alleging is similar behavior to how you behave publicly to us in Raiders training camp. You didn't care about anybody else. You didn't consider anybody else. You know what I'm saying? Like it was all about you. You know what I'm saying? And so to me, even if these sexual allegation cases may or may not be true or whatever, you have killed the ability for you to have any credibility because of all of the antics that you did before they came out. You know what I'm saying? So now it's easy for somebody to be like, yeah, it's probably true because of how you behaved up until then, whether it's true or not. And so now you are fighting an uphill battle against one of the toughest legal systems in the National Football League. They don't play about their lawyers at all. They don't play about their money at all. Right. And if you go through with this, you can never expect to play football again.
Right. And that's why I don't think he understands everything that he's done to himself, because you go up to this board of appealing or whatever, what are you going to say? What legs do you have to stand on this? Like, I don't get in any situation that you can say that I'm owed more money than I was even going to get originally, because the money that you plan to get, you didn't show up for practice. So you didn't come to work. You didn't perform at work. You sabotage different things. You try to attack the GM. You recorded your boss in terms of your coach.
Isn't that illegal?
It is. It's very illegal. So you cannot do that, especially in California. You are not allowed to record somebody without their consent. Now, so you do that. Then you tell them to release you. That's a whole separate situation right there. Separate situation right there. Sorry. You don't have any grounds at all in this. You didn't even come to practice, let alone do the right things when you got there. So let's remove that. You did actually play one game for Bill Belichick. But like I just stated a minute ago, I'm sure there's something in your contract that says if you do not honor your contract and honor the whole time, or you have different situations that arise, especially since they already knew you were in one sexual assault situation, that you won't be able to play and we can release you without pay.
Right.
So the only thing that you could possibly ask for is your game check for the game you played against Miami. Right. That's it.
And you got that. He got that.
Exactly.
And I read a report that said if obviously he's not getting the 31 from the Raiders, not getting the 9 from the Patriots. If he loses his lawsuit, Antonio Brown could end up with $153,000 for the season. You could have made $31 million.
Right.
And you're gonna end up with $153,000.
Makes no sense.
No.
And you gotta think, look, I don't know Antonio Brown, and at this point I don't want to know Antonio Brown. I never did in the first place. But my point of what I'm trying to say is there's more to Antonio Brown than what we've seen in these last few months and on this video. Like, Antonio Brown has some serious issues that he's dealing with. It's evident. I don't think he knows. I don't think he understands it. But maybe he feels like he doesn't have to because he's got a house. He's got millions of dollars. Well, I don't know how much millions he still has. But the one thing I can say is if you're a millionaire and you live your life like a millionaire and spend money like a millionaire, you got to continue to be a millionaire, which means you got to continue to get checks. You're not going to get no checks from the NFL trying to sue.
And you've lost your endorsements.
Exactly. Nike's done. The helmet that you so raved about is now gone. You don't need it now because you don't play, but still, like, what possibly now?
Still being a helmet rep that you didn't play.
Right. You just run around in your backyard with that thing on. Like, that's all you could possibly do. But you think about it too, like, if all these sexual assault cases come to fruition, what's going to happen now? Your money's going to go away too.
Yeah, you got to deal with all that.
You're
already paying legal fees to even the fact that they're brought up. You're probably right now already paying legal fees and incurring legal fees right now for that. So, we'll see. We can't spend a ton of time on Antonio Brown. He's going to show his face, and we're going to see what happens with him soon. Unfortunately, we got to speak about another Raider player, Vontaze Burfict. Oh, man. Young man. Vontaze Burfict has been suspended as of right now for the remainder of the season for this hit that we can see right here on screen, this helmet-to-helmet hit this past Sunday while the Raiders were playing the Colts. Vontaze has already been suspended for this a number of times. So this is not like, hey, first time, we suspending you for the rest of the season. This is, hey, clearly you have not learned your lesson. We have got to sit you down because otherwise you're going to hurt yourself, someone else. This is not okay. As just a football fan, I understand it. But you as a Raiders fan, what do you got on this?
Look, I was pretty skeptical of the whole signing of Vontaze Burfict in the first place. I understand what he brings. He brings toughness to an organization. But the only problem with Vontaze Burfict, he's too tough for his own good. It's kind of hard saying that as a football player, but Vontaze Burfict has a mean streak that doesn't need to be in the NFL. He likes to hurt people and hurt people bad. Now, it'd be one thing if this was the NFL back in the day. It's not. The NFL has changed a lot of their policies and a lot of the way they go about things because they don't want a lot of people winding up with CTE or anything else where they have serious medical issues when they leave football or whenever.
This is not Jack Tatum's Raiders.
No, not at all. And that's a problem. So Vontaze still has that mentality in him. He likes to harm people. He likes to hurt people. We just spoke about Antonio Brown.
Yep.
It's a problem. It's a problem. It's not. I mean, look, I love football. I love hard-hitting football. I love to see people get laid out. I don't like to see somebody who's already been down on the ground and his head comes up and you come and try to smash it into the ground when he's already down the floor. That makes no sense. Yeah. You wouldn't want somebody to do that to you or your teammate, so why would you do it to somebody else? It's still a game. Yeah. It's still a game, and that's what he especially needs to understand, that this is a game. These guys, just like you, go home to their families, their kids, their wives, their whatever, whoever they go home to. It doesn't even matter. The fact of the matter is this person needs to live past, 1:15 on Sunday.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's my issue. And I don't want to say I don't think he should be suspended for a year, but because it's him, he should be suspended for a year. Yeah. And I think they need to stick with it. I know they probably will appeal it, but I think that the NFL needs to make an example, especially because of him, because he is the primary offender all the time.
And I was going to say the same thing. Like, I do believe that he's going to appeal it, but I do believe this is one that the NFL should stick with. Like, you gotta send a message and you gotta set a tone, because, like you said, after game starts at 1, I go home at 4 or 5 o'clock. Like, I got a family, you know what I mean? Or even if I don't, I just got a life. Like, I don't want to be, I'm happy Ryan Shazier is coming back and slowly being able to walk again and all these other things. But who wants to live like that? You know what I mean?
Speaking of that, right? That was the same. That was one of those the game against. It wasn't the same game, but it was a game that Vontaze Burfict hit, I think, Juju that game.
Yeah.
And then Ryan Shazier was retaliating, and that's what happened to him.
Yeah.
And you see how that caused
domino effect.
Yeah, that caused now somebody to literally have to give up football forever, and who is now just barely walking. That was 2 years ago.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So that's why they're trying to take this out. It's not just because of Vontaze Burfict. It's because they can't allow people to always do this at any situation, either whether it be on the field during a play, retaliation, whatever it might be. It's wrong.
Yeah, and you gotta, as an NFL, you gotta send a message and let people know this is bigger than just a game. People have to live lives after this. You know what I mean? And so, again, Vontaze Burfict at the moment suspended till the end of the season. We will see what the appeal process does and if the NFL sticks with it, and we'll see how that goes.
And Raider fans, don't worry. Like, he wasn't that good anyway. Nah. I'm telling you right now, like, all those previous, that was in the past. Like, I heard today, Rex Ryan was saying something on TV, and he actually was saying the reason why Vontaze Burfict does that a lot now is because he can't keep up with today's game. Like, he has to be extra physical and do things and hold and grab and hit people in different ways because he's not making an impact. Like, almost like he gets frustrated with himself and the way he plays, so he does that and he takes things out to make himself. And I don't know, but I can tell you right now, he didn't do anything prior to that hit. So we're not losing anything. We might be a little bit, less with depth, but we're not losing nothing.
No. All right, getting out of the NFL and moving on. The state legislature of California is passing an act called the Fair Play Act, where the governor of California is wanting to make sure that college athletes are able to get paid for their images, their likeness, and the use of their name, as a lot of us feel like they should be. This act is going to be, I think it says in effect in 2023, so in 3 years. And I mean, that's if it makes it through, California Court of Appeals, which it probably should. I feel like it should. But as of right now, this act has been signed, and so they're looking to push this forward in hopes that it encourages other states and possibly the entire NCAA to look at college athletes getting paid, and the money that schools are making off of these college athletes. Now, jump out the window first and say, I support this 1,000%. Ever since, I'm too young to know a lot of these big college players that were big college guys that didn't really transition into the league. But I remember when NCAA football came out and you could play the video game as some of your favorite college players. And as I got older, realizing they weren't getting paid for that. Like,
right.
Everybody else is making money off of you guys and you guys aren't making a dime. Man, before we go too far, I get the whole, but they get their college paid for and they get this paid for and they get that paid for. It's fractions compared to what these schools are making off of these kids. And some of them not just in the years that they play. Some of these people, you're selling Lynn Swann jerseys still to this day. His college jersey to this day, you know what I mean? And so there's got to be something put in place to where guys are getting, fairly paid for their likeness, because their bodies are out there on the field. It's not the coach, it's not the athletic director, it's not, the administrator of the school. They're not sacrificing their body every week for this school and for this school's name. I mean, be honest. Anybody know the name of the athletic director at Ohio State? No. But you know all their quarterbacks, don't you? Right. You know what I mean? You know the quarterback at Oklahoma. You know who the quarterback is at Alabama. Nick Saban's getting paid. Right. You know what I mean? You got to pay these guys.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. I mean, I played college basketball for a while. I wasn't anywhere close to being on that big stage, but in the same sense, I mean, you still have to travel all over the place. You still have to maintain a certain GPA while also, flying to different cities, performing in front of 1 million people. You know what I'm saying? Like it's still a business. It still takes a toll on your body and who you are. Now, I understand the whole you get free college and this, that. That's great. But the only problem is some of these guys don't need college. They're only going to college because they're forced to for a certain situation that the NBA and the NFL won't let you just go straight out of high school.
Right.
Colleges need them. And I'm not trying to say that that's the only thing. I mean, yes, they can get their education, and yes, they should. But in the same sense, if their whole mindset is to go to the NBA, and this college knows that their whole mindset is going to the NBA, then they're both using each other for a goal.
Right.
Why is it fair that only one side gets paid for it as opposed to the other side?
Right.
Because usually when business deals happen, both sides benefit in some ways. Yeah. Now, I understand that they get to see, you get to see your favorite athletes on TV and different things. Now, but, I mean, it goes back to the situation. Zion Williams, obviously, last year played and was phenomenal for Duke. Everybody had Duke jerseys. Everybody watched Duke on TV. Zion had a situation where his shoe tore up, ripped up. He got injured from that. He came back and played. Great story. Great everything. Everything worked out on him. He's in the NBA. He's number one pick. He's playing for New England Pelicans in a few weeks. Great story. Love it. But the only problem is, what if Zion would have messed up his leg? Then what?
Right.
He gets no money. You guys forget about him. You guys go to the next person. Zion now has to work and do whatever, but his whole goal was to make the NBA. It was taken from him, but he played for you. Yeah. You guys got paid for that. In terms of college is what I mean. You guys got paid for that. He didn't.
Yeah.
It's unfair, I think, for any athlete to not be able to benefit on who you are. If I sign an autograph that has my name on it, I should be able to get paid for it. Exactly. If you buy my jersey that has the back of my name on it, a part of that should go to me. Right. Now, the school can make money from it, obviously, because it says Duke on the front. But if it says Williamson on the back, I should get some money for that too.
Right.
And that's where the problem comes in. The other thing that I have, or not a problem, but the other thing that's going to happen is that if California passes this bill, everybody else better do it very fast because everybody's going to go to school in either Cal, Stanford, UCLA, USC, anywhere in California. People are going to go. You're going to have 5-star athletes stacking teams up if you guys do not pass this bill. Yeah. I understand you want the colleges to stay collegiate and pure and whatever you want to say, but that time is over.
Yeah.
You got to do this. You got to do this. You got to do this.
And I look at this from two different angles because and one of them you mentioned with the Zion Williams thing. He got injured. He still got drafted, and it may work out for him long term. He'll be all right. But you think of the number of guys that have devoted their life to a sport, to trying to get to a certain level of a sport, and for whatever reason, be it injury, be it they just didn't make it. Maybe they were on a team that didn't get the right exposure. They didn't get an agent. Whatever the case may be, you have devoted from the time you were maybe 8, 9, 10 years old till you're about 20, 21, 22, 10, 11, 12, 13, maybe more years of your life to this game. You get to a plateau, and then you just get some walking papers out the door. While this school, let's say you maybe you were a 4-year collegiate athlete for a big name at LSU and Alabama. You are a linebacker or somebody defensive end. 4 years, you did a solid job. You helped them get winning records, and you get nothing.
Right.
Because say you don't get picked up to the NFL, what happens? You know what I mean? You get absolutely nothing. So that's one thing that the NCAA really has to consider. Like, there are guys that have devoted their life to playing these games and getting to a certain plateau and even devoted their lives to making you, NCAA, worth watching. And you've got to pay these guys because they're leaving with nothing after this. You know what I mean? And so there's that angle. But then the other thing I see as an opportunity is if you start paying guys in college, you have an opportunity to teach guys how to be responsible with money once they get to the professional level. You know what I mean? It's not this faucet of, I was getting $0. Then all of a sudden I'm getting millions and I don't know how to behave with it, because I think that, and even if, and this may be a separate point, because even if the NCAA doesn't fully accept this Fair Play Act, there's got to be some sort of way to transition guys from making little to no money into this big money market. And if paying players in college, that's an opportunity to be like, hey, here's how you manage your money. Here's how we, you know what I'm saying, give you a stipend. Maybe we don't just give it all to you at once. Maybe, you get it at the end of the season, or we break it up. However it goes, I don't know what the intricacies may be, but I feel like this is an opportunity for the NCAA to be able to take some of these guys and say, hey, you know what? We want to not just, exploit you as players. We want to help you become better men, better financial managers, better, owners of your own financial future, and give you an opportunity to make the best out of this. You know what I mean? And I think if you start paying them now, you put them on a path to help understand how to manage their finances if in fact they do go on to the professional level, or even if they don't make it, at least, hey, and maybe those guys may need it a little bit more, but even if they don't make it, is, hey, we're teaching you how to manage this money and have something to leave out of here with, and give, I know guys in college that have kids in college now, give your kids something, start off with something, but don't just leave out of here with nothing after you sacrifice your time, your energy, your body for us and these schools.
Right. And it's not like you got to pay them, out of this world money or anything close to professional level, but they should be able to do that. I mean, you demand so much of their time. Do not let them work outside of playing basketball because they're committed to their program. They should be paid for it. Just like any other college student that goes off, out of their classes, they go off and work. They get paid for it. That's their job. That's where they're spending their time. They're getting paid because they need money for college. These kids, just because they get free college and they get, meal passes, doesn't mean that they don't have other things that they need. They have cell phones, they have different things, but you're right. They need to learn how to, basically use that money to help them when they get out of college, whether they go to professional or not, because a lot of people don't. I mean, if you think about it, I don't know how, people watching this, if you guys remember the Michigan Fab Five, I mean, let's think about that. The NCAA made a killing off of the Fab Five. That was the most popular college basketball team that I can remember. I'm talking about with the Black Sox, with the long shorts, that Michigan blue. Everybody loved
the
Michigan.
Full outfit. I had the shorts
exactly.
and the jersey.
Everybody loved it. Everybody loved them for that. But the point I'm trying to make is, if you think about it, and I'm not talking to you, but I'm talking to everybody that's listening. If you think about it, think in your head how many of those Fab Five that you actually remember. Not right. Maybe 3 if you go. I mean, probably 3 because you're going to go Juwan Howard, you're going to go Chris Webber, you're going to go Jalen Rose because you see them mostly. But what about the other 2?
Right.
Like, does anybody know what they're doing? And I know I'm not saying that they're not doing anything. I saw the 30 for 30 on the Fab Five, but think about that. It was a 30 for 30. That was the first time I'd seen them since the Fab Five.
Right.
I'm sure that they needed money.
Right.
Not now. I'm not saying now, but I'm just saying in college, everybody needs it. You know what I'm saying? They could have been able to make money off their likeness because at the time they were the most popular thing going.
Yep.
Anybody that played for Michigan was everything at that time. Yeah. And they could have made a whole bunch of money just signing autographs of themselves. Man, but you took that away from them.
You look at some of the other great college teams. You look at North Carolina. I had a Vince Carter jersey. You know what I mean? Jamal Masburn was my dude. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, I was all about some of those teams. Duke, all these teams, they've had great college teams where, you know what I mean? Remember when Christian Laettner was in college? He was one of the biggest. He was bigger than some NBA players at the time when he was in college, selling jerseys left and right. You can't sit here and tell me that guy is not owed something for what he brought to your school, to that program, to the NCAA as a whole. These guys made March Madness possible.
Right, and I was even going to add, too, I mean, Duke, you think about, you're talking about Christian Laettner, people now are going to school that because of the history that Duke had. Right. And he's part of the history. And all that, you basically didn't give him anything, and now people are coming because of him, because of Grant Hill. You know what I'm saying? Because of these guys that everybody looked up to and said, that's great. I want to go to Duke. I want to go to Duke because they played there, and Kyrie played there, and all these players played there that I used to like. So my first choice is Duke because I know that they're going to make a player like that out of me. They should be being paid for that. They should. Right. I mean, not now, but they should have gotten paid for that. They should be owed something because they're the pieces that made your college program what it is. Yeah. People go to Duke because of the history of Duke. People go to North Carolina, Kentucky, all these schools, not because of whatever. They go because Kentucky produced Anthony Davis, Devin Booker, DeMarcus Cousins, John Wall. Like, you know what I'm saying? Right. Exactly.
Same thing in football. You look at Alabama football. You look at Oklahoma, Ohio State football. They go there because of the legacy of the people that have played there. They don't go. I mean, yeah, Nick Saban is a great coach, but at the same time, he still needs bodies on the field to execute plays. And they go there because those bodies executed those plays, and it was on big-time TV, and it was seen. And these schools got their TV money. They got their jersey sales. They got their ticket sales. They made a killing off all these guys. You can't tell me they're not owed a little something. Like a little something like that. So, you know, I'm real adamant about this issue. I really, really do hope other states pick up on this quickly, like you said. Otherwise, the Pac-10 is going to be awesome, which I'm fine with. But, or Pac-12, what are we, 12
Pac-12, now? Yeah, 12.
They're probably going to add some more once we start moving over here.
Oh, yeah, well, I mean, yeah, if it's going to be schools open. If they don't pass these things, it's going to be schools open up everywhere.
Like, I'm going to open the college.
Cal State Hayward for the become D1.
Could you imagine?
People just want to get in there and get paid. Like, man. But this is the truth, though.
It is.
Everybody, they're going to have to, because once this passes, if other states don't gravitate to this quickly, it's going to mess up everybody's program. Because you look at it's like the NBA or college football. College football probably did more because you have to stay in college football for 3 years before you can even go to the NFL. So you're expecting these guys to be 3 years without getting paid when you can go to California school and get paid? Like, it's going to be people lining out the door to go to USC and UCLA and Cal, and you know what I'm saying? So, I mean, it's something that should have happened a long time ago, but I'm glad that they started to do it now.
Yeah. You know. So, you know, we'll see how this rolls out. We'll see how this continues to play out. But good job on California State Legislature for pushing the narrative on that and pushing that forward. Jumping out of that, the last topic we were going to jump on today, the NBA preseason has started this week. The Rockets played, I think, what are they called? The Shanghai Knights or something like that in China. James Harden tried to show off his little one-leg move. It didn't really work out the way he thought it would. But, NBA preseason is back. For those of you who were in a lull, I know we said it on the last episode, the NBA had the greatest summer of any sport, and I think it's probably one of the best summers for basketball I've seen. I think only in the last 3 weeks it felt like we were missing basketball. Prior to that, it really didn't feel like the season had ended. It was still kind of going on. But every team has had their media days now, and we're preseason schedules rolling out, and so it's time for NBA to start.
Yeah, I mean, I'm happy. I mean, I love football to death, but it's always better when both things are going at the same time. But NBA, like you say, is starting. The Warriors are, our team, so we kind of focus a little bit more when we look at them. Coming back with, I guess, new faces, like we talked about earlier. Steph Curry obviously still driving the ship. Draymond Green, we will be able to out Clay at least. Bob Myers came out today and said at least until the All-Star break. So, I mean, if anybody was trying to pencil them in earlier, February is longer if possible. I don't want any injuries to reoccur because we need the superstar shooting and defense of Klay Thompson. Now, the rest of the team, I don't know too much about. Looney, of course I do. I like Looney.
Also coming off an injury.
Yes, the chest, but I mean, we know Looney will be fine. We're not really too worried about that. Willie Cauley-Stein, the new Warriors center, will not be playing until about the start of the season because he suffered injury. Playing pickup basketball. I don't really know too much about everybody else in terms of what they've been doing. I'm sure they've been working out. The 3 rookies will probably actually be a big impact this year because they have to play him. We don't really have a lot of people this year. There's no Kevin Durant. He's now in Brooklyn, still talking about the Warriors, but he's in Brooklyn. And of course, we don't have Andre, unfortunately, and Sean. And shout out to Sean Livingston because we haven't talked about that. He retired completely from basketball.
That's my dude, man. Shout out to Sean Livingston. He gave his team a lot. I'm glad I have a Sean Livingston bobblehead. That's my guy, man. He really did. Coming back off of those injuries, man, just to see that and that, he wasn't necessarily even supposed to really walk properly, let alone play basketball. And so to see him get 3 NBA titles and not just be a big player, be an actual contributor in all 3 of those titles, Sean came up big for us when we needed him. And so shout out to Sean Livingston, man. You're nothing but love on this side, though.
Yeah, for real. But around the league, obviously, we got new faces, new teams. Kawhi Leonard is now, like we said before, on the LA Clippers, along with Paul George.
Yep.
And their cast that they have down there with Doc and everything like that. Houston Rockets, what is that? James Harden, and now we have Russell Westbrook. So they'll be a little bit different. No more Chris Paul. He's now in Oklahoma City doing nothing.
I heard a rumor though OKC still may trade him before.
I can see that. There's too much money. There's no need to have him. If they can somehow figure a way to get that $30 million off or $40 million off per year, I applaud them.
They're clearly trying to tank. So I mean, it is what it is.
So that's that. I mean, there's, like I said, Boston has new faces. Jimmy Butler in Miami. Yeah. Porzingis now going to be to Dallas, and we haven't seen him. I mean, he was there last year, but he was injured, so he didn't see him actually play with Luka Doncic. So that'll be interesting to see. So
I want to see, and a lot of people aren't talking about this because they're not going to be that great. But and maybe because I live here now, I want to see this young Atlanta team play together. Like, I think they might actually put up more points than people think. I think they might be all right. I like Trae Young. Obviously, he was very visible during summer league games and a lot of pickup games, and he's definitely been working on his game a lot. But I want to see this young Atlanta team play. Like, I actually think they might be okay.
Yeah, I think they'll be fun. Just for the simple fact, I mean, they're young. They'll be pretty aggressive. Like you said, Trae Young is a he's a superstar in the making.
Yep.
And they got a lot of pieces that they added that I think I really like. Their draft is pretty solid this year. Yep. So I think, with Vince Carter coming back for the 75th year, he will help them, just get all the young guys together, kind of teach them how to be pros. And that kid, Vince Carter, is my favorite player forever. But, he is old.
Yeah, it's time to let that go, Vinny.
But it's good. It's good what he does. He can still. Shoot. I hope I could be like that.
Right.
I'm not like that now. So maybe I need to strive to be more like Vince and less rounded like me. At least he could get up in the air. Shoot. Yeah. I don't even know if I can still dunk. No, I did it one time. That was a while ago. But so let's leave that alone. We'll leave that alone. But NBA is going to be very excited. I'm so glad it's back. And this year, obviously, the Warriors are not as dominant as before. So there might be a lot of teams that are coming up that we haven't seen before, especially in the West, because the West looks like it's just going to be a juggernaut. It's going to be a smash mouth, Western Conference Finals or Western Conference playoffs. Just to even get to the playoffs is going to be tough.
Even you look at some of the quote lower tier teams. We talked about them a little bit earlier, but Utah, Portland. Even Denver might, kind of ruffle some feathers up in there. While everybody's looking up here at the top, the Clippers, the Lakers, you got to look out for some of these other teams down here on the West Coast too. They've retooled and they're going to be good. You know what I mean? Yeah. And I think, I think basketball now, I think I texted you this earlier. I can watch basketball objectively now. I can go back to just watching hoop and not expecting the Warriors to walk in and beat everybody, which was fun. I'm not going to lie. As a Warriors fan, I had to watch us lose so many games. It was great. We had a great run for a while there. And I'm not writing this off as completely done because we just got this Chase Center. We will have to get a superstar back in our team in the next season or two to keep that thing rolling. But it's fun to watch basketball just for being basketball again.
Right. And just you don't know what to expect. You don't know where the thing's going to go. It's great. It's great to have that, for any team, for anybody. I know, like I said, like you talk about with the Warriors, of course it's great over here, but anybody who's watching this that doesn't live in the Bay Area or not a Warrior fan at all, I can understand that, it probably wasn't fun watching the same team do the same thing over and over and over again. Mm-hmm. And sometimes it was pretty, I wouldn't say it was boring, but it was, like you said, we knew exactly what was going to happen. So it just kind of fast forward until June. But, it's going to be good now because a game against the Minnesota Timberwolves could go either way.
Right.
You're going on an East Coast road swing and you have no idea if you're going to be 1-6 or 6-0.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It can go either way. So I think that's good for everybody, not just the Warriors, not just, the Lakers, any team you are. Any team, everybody has a legitimate chance now.
Right now, it's wide open, except for Phoenix.
No. But, everybody else, good luck.
Not this one, Phoenix. Maybe next time. Probably not.
No, probably not. I still think they need to move to Vegas, though. They need to move to Vegas.
I think if they play, I think I said this before, too, if they play like they did at the end of the season, Orlando might be a little sleeper, too. They picked it up at the end of last season, and if they can continue that, they might be all right, too.
Well, the East Coast, I think, is going to be a little bit, I wouldn't say better, but I think that there's not a team that is going to come out.
It's evenly matched. Everything on the East is evenly matched.
Yeah, I have issues with Philadelphia. I have issues with Boston. I have issues with Miami, any team, Orlando. I can make a case that this team could be good. I can also make the same case that team could be overachieving. Yeah. So I feel like
still the champs, and we don't even know where to lay them now.
So I think it's crazy because you can see in the West. I don't know what's going to happen because I feel like they're going to beat each other up, and then we're just going to see who can survive through the beating. But then on the East, I feel like anybody can win that because there's no favorite to me. We can look at Philadelphia because they have the talent, but
you know what's crazy? We talked about all these teams, and in the East, we still haven't brought up Milwaukee.
Wow. See, and that's my point. Like that, as unfortunate as that is, Giannis, who is the MVP, who was ranked number one on everything that's ESPN's number one rankings for the whole NBA.
That was trash.
Yeah, but that was.
I took a one-legged clay over a bunch of them dudes and Katie, but that's neither here nor there.
But so I mean, we didn't even mention his team, and that's and is that maybe because was that a fluky situation, or because maybe because what I saw from Giannis in the playoffs, I'm not going to sit here and say that he didn't do what he was supposed to do, but we saw a way to beat Giannis.
Yeah,
we saw a way that unless Giannis decides that he's going to just spend all summer working on a jump shot, which he very well could have. And I hope that he did. I want to see Giannis become the best player he could possibly be because he looks dominant. He looks like he could be all world if he could develop a jump shot.
Yeah.
So if he does, then great. And then I can put them back on the top. But like for some reason, just like you said, I didn't even mention it, probably because I just don't believe that they should have even been there or that they will be this year.
Yeah. So we'll see. Like we both said, though, I think everybody is excited for the NBA season to get started. I know I am. I know you are. And so we'll be all covering all of the NBA news, all of the sports news here. I mean, as October starts again, the height of sports season. Even if you like hockey's coming back soon. So this is the greatest time in sports right now. The next couple of months are going to be awesome. So. With that, we're going to close out episode 2 and let y'all know, keep following with us. Hella Flagrant the Podcast. We back here season 3. We are definitely going to be on top of all the sports as they go on throughout this season. So keep checking back with us. Keep checking in on the YouTube, on the Spotify, and all of the social medias. Make sure you check in. Hashtag Hella Flagrant, at the Flagrant Foul, at Hella Flagrant DM, at Sean.B.Flagrant. Check us out and, like, follow, share, comment, whatever. Talk to us. Holler at us.
Yeah, I mean, we do this for y'all. So everybody, when you get a chance, you know what I'm saying, go to our pages, check us out, look us up. Make sure you watch all these videos. Like you said, like, subscribe, do it all. I mean, we still have these shirts. These are the new foul shirts that we're wearing. I mean, we showed them off before in the last video, but if you haven't seen them, these are them. You can buy them on hellaflagrant.com right now, www.hellaflagrant.com. You can get this shirt in any color that you want. It does not have to be this color. You can get it in any color for your team, whatever. It doesn't matter. You can switch up these, letters to be any color you want. It's all you. I got a billion shirts that are different colors. You need to go get them too. Once again, www.hellaflagrant.com. You can get these shirts right here. We also have the Hella Flagrant shirt that Flagrant DM is wearing right there. We also have
like 3 other versions. We got the orange stripe tee. We got the old school with the letter block still on it, and we got to drop some new ones. We got some exclusives coming out. So just stay tuned with us and keep watching, keep following the social media. Like I said, we're gonna be dropping some limited edition Hella Flagrant and Foul shirts. We're gonna be dropping all kind of stuff. So just make sure you keep it locked.
There you go, man. But thank y'all for watching, man. We out of here. Peace.